Hey everybody, this is Pastor Dustin recording for TeamNerdChurch.com. Here's my trusty sidekick Tuffy. Say hi to everybody, Tuffy. Hello everybody. Tuffy's going to be here recording with me today, and I have got the semi-first draft version of the update with Dragons of Tarkir. I have 2 copies of Zurgo Bellstriker, as well as 4 copies of the Dragon Whisperer, and those went in for my little hasty guys, and I also took out 2 Stoke the Flames. So we're a little bit lighter on the removal, slightly heavier on the creatures, and then hopefully these guys will offer some evasion that I don't always get if I happen to not draw a breakthrough line. So we're going to run this one and see how it goes, and again, please in the comments let me know what your thoughts about the main deck as well as the sideboard. Alright, and away we go. I also forgot to mention that I added 1 more Shrine to Nykthos in there because we have a higher count of Devotion and Permanence. So maybe we'll see one of those come into play. Alright, opening hand has 1 land and not enough to support it, so we'll mull that. Going to 3 lands, yeah, plenty of things to play off of it, so I'll keep that. So we'll see how Nykthos does in these sorts of situations. We'll have 4 Devotion pretty quickly, so it will be active. Let's see who won that die roll. I got a 12, this guy got a 2, so I am on the play. So we'll start it off with Zurgo and pass the turn. For what it's worth, I have not yet used the dash ability on Zurgo. He's just been my turn 1 play. So I don't know if that's just been kind of luck. Oh, land is not good off of that next one. I don't know if that's just been luck at the draw or what. We'll get ourselves into an Eidolon. And as early as next turn, this Nykthos is good for red mana if we were to happen to need 3 red. But if we needed 3 red, we could just play the mountain. I prefer to hold Nykthos back so they don't really know that I am Devotion until it actually pops out. And another mountain. Okay, well that's kind of rough. So we will send in, get him for 4, and then slip into a Fire Drinker. Okay, his turn. So if he drops a 4 on me right now, things are going to get ugly pretty quickly because I don't have anything in the board or in my hand. Yeah, that one's kind of rough. That is able to really get around what I need. What is that? Cards aren't popping up as well right now. You got to actually go search them. Okay, so I just looked it up for you. We've got Draconic Roar right here is on the top of his deck. And this one is awfully good if he's got a dragon. I can deal 3 damage to a creature, and then if he reveals the dragon, it gets me for 3. So if he hits the Fire Drinker, that could get ugly in a hurry. So I'm going to try to burn my Fire Drinker now. Well, I've got a Prophetic Flame Speaker, which is pretty good. Let's see, I've got 4 Devotion up, so 5 total mana, so I could do that if I wanted to. I think the first thing that I do is just to attack with everybody, and if he blocks, I'll double pump into this just to kill his Courser. Well, I think if he's smarter, he kills one of these other 2. And if he does, that's okay. I just need to push damage at this point. So I'm going to drop the Nykthos. Gives me 1 extra pump if I need it. We'll see how he blocks. Alright, so he kills the Eidolon, so I get pain-free on that one. So go there. And then drop a Flame Speaker. Okay. So he is going to pop that on the Fire Drinker, getting me for 6 as well as killing that. So there's a possibility that Fire Drinker might actually be too painful. In the previous format, I guess the format that we're still on right now, it was painful, but it wasn't so painful that it wasn't worth having the Jackal Pup out there. But if there's going to be a lot of burn in this new format, then they may end up actually outracing me in a deck that is built to race. So the possibility I take that one out. Alright, opponent cracked a Wooded Foothills. He's got a Temple on top. Alright, he's got himself a Thunderbreak Regent, and that is the 4/4 Flying Dragon that will get you for 3 if you target a dragon they control. So I need something to help me out here. Goblin Rabble Master is probably not it. Let's see, I need something to pump this or to make it unblockable. That Thunderbreak region's going to punish me, because here I could have attacked into that and not had a whole lot happen. But in this situation, I'm just running out of luck. Okay, so I think the correct thing is just to get out the Rabblemaster and then hope that he swings. Alright, so we'll make our counter. It's a pretty cool red goblin token coming in the next set for everybody that's a fan of that. Probably just lets that bounce off the regent. Yeah, that's fine. It's a good blocker, because then if I want to Thunderbolt or Lightning Strike it or something like that, then I still have to take 3. Another Draconic Roar on top. Okay, so pretty soon he's going to have an awful lot to come get me. He can take out the Flame Speaker if he wants to, so I have to wait for him to tap out before I were to slap any kind of enchantment on there. Break the Line is ideally what I want to draw right now, because that would get me through for, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I can make everybody unblockable. He's tapping 4 for another Thunderbreak region. So this is nice. If I target one of his dragons, then I have to take 6. So there is no targeting his dragons. Except he doesn't really want to play it. Instead, he wants to play... He wanted to play it. He just didn't want to tap the way that he did. Okay. So he's got 2 mana up, including being able to kill one of my creatures. Oh, there we go. Okay, so he's tapping out for the Draconic Roar on. Okay. So he takes out the value creature rather than trying to push damage, which is probably correct. Because if he's going to die, it's going to be from a big Flame Speaker swing that he didn't expect. Okay. I get Eidolon, which is not ideal. So I'm just kind of stalling out here. I don't see a way to break through it right now. So it seems like the best way to do this is just to play that and wait a little bit longer. So go to attacks, send a goblin, have it die. Yep. And end the turn. So if I top deck a Breakthrough Line, I can pay 2 to get it out to add more devotion, pay 2 to trigger Nykthos and get 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be enough to give everybody unblockable. So I can still kill him, especially if he taps out. If he's still got the Draconic Roar that he drew earlier, he can play it and kill me. Pretty sure he gets me on a swing back as well, because he's got 8 just here. 10, 11. Yeah, I think he's got me dead to rights. Flame Speaker. Yeah, I've still got nothing. Well, I'll still play it out. See if I get anywhere. Attack with a Goblin. He blocks it and pass the turn. Okay, we've got the same thing if I top deck a Breakthrough Line. Take 2? Yeah, I take 2. Okay, we got over here. He's got a Sarkhan Unbroken, and so I'm now losing to a deck that's playing Sarkhan Unbroken, which lets you know how good my deck is. Let's see. Right here is Sarkhan Unbroken. You can play it to draw a card, then add a mana of any color. You can -2 it to make a dragon, and his ultimate is search a library for any number of dragon creature cards and put them into the battlefield. And shuffle it up. Okay. So you probably will not need it. And off the top we get a Lightning Strike. Okay, well... I'm not going to survive next turn, and so the only thing left to do is turn everybody sideways, hope that he has some terrible blocking scheme, and then try to Lightning Strike him. I will have to hope that he kills off my Eidolon, because if he blocks the Thunderbreak on the Fire Drinker, then that is going to get me down to 1, so I wouldn't be able to play anything if he didn't kill the Eidolon. Okay, so he's not going to try to push that damage. So I will get him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like. Get him down to 6, which is not going to be enough. And I don't really have any way to pump. So all of these will die. Not enough of his will die to really make a difference, right? I get to kill that, and that's about it. Yep, alright, game 2. And I do not have a sideboard on this yet. I could go transformational, trying to get all of my stuff with power 4 or greater. Or, I'm sorry, toughness 4 or greater. Or just have enchantments. You know, I could go the route of dodging creature removal, either by having creatures too big, or just having things that aren't creatures to begin with. Or I could just go for a traditional sideboard and try to patch in some weak spots. But I've not decided how I would quite do that yet. The Thunderbrick region that you saw would absolutely go in, probably in either of those sideboards. And if he's in there, then I have some incentive to put other dragons in. But right now the only other really playable dragon is Stormbreath, which is a 5-drop, which I can do, but I am going to have to add some land into my sideboard. So you start to lose valuable spots. And with the amount of mana jumping I would have to do to make that kind of sideboard, I would have to put in 2 to 3 additional mana, which is a fair amount. So the other card is, the name is escaping me, but it's 2 colorless and 2 red for a 4/5, and so the toughness is very impressive, and it has a monstrous of making everybody sack 3 lands. So that one could be an option. I've also got Phoenixes that come back if they see something that's got 4 or greater toughness, or power, sorry. I could go more devotion and put in the Red God Perforos, as well as putting in the Phoenix that can come back if you have something with a power 4 or greater, and then I could play the card that deals damage equal to your devotion when it comes in. That's also got 4 power. So the only problem with all of those options is that they have a lot of cards in the 4-drop spot. And if I'm taking out a bunch of 1-drops or 4-drops, I'm going to be a red deck that dirtles, and I'll have my first 2 turns doing basically nothing. Okay, so I will swing into that. It's worth it to take a damage and lose a creature to be able to Stone Rain him. Alright, that's fine. So that'll go there. And then, going to, let's see. Yeah, Break Through the Line's the only responsible play there. So next turn, I am not going to be able to get a Hasty Rabblemaster, which I will regret, but the turn after that I will be able to make everything unblockable. The other question is, if he has a Lightning Strike up here, what do I do? Which would be to play the Bell Striker and give it haste. But I am just going to lean into this is possible. Yep, here it comes. Wild Slash. Alright. Well, that just happened. Okay, so next turn I'm going to have 4 mana, so I can play out my entire hand and give Bell Striker haste. He's going to have 5 cards. So that happened a little bit faster than I was hoping for. But to be fair, I didn't sideboard at all. Alright, so we've got a Thunder Smite, which I don't want to play out quite yet. Just because he's still got that mana open. Give it haste. And swing for 2. He's going to kill it. Yep, another Wild Slash. Okay. So I'm left without creatures, so hopefully my slightly increased creature count will do me some good here. But I am in absolute top deck mode. If I don't hit something here, then I am out of luck. Okay, so he is just going to sit back and wait for me. See, hey, I've got a hammer. Okay. Well, I have haste out the wazoo. All different kinds of haste have I. And end the turn. So I can activate that twice. Unfortunately, the 3/3s can't get snuck through. Alright, he's going to get me for 3 and drop a land. Command is pretty good. Okay, so he's continuing to sit back on defense. Well, normally I would be a little annoyed about drawing the mountain, but in this case, it's just a hasty 3/3. I really do like hammer a lot, And I would play 3 main deck if it wasn't legendary. I would also Thunder Smite that if he was tapped out, but he is not. It's the 3 power doesn't work well with Break Through the Line, all different other kinds of things, but I do like them a lot. I've got the one in the sideboard usually, depending on what kind of sideboard configuration I'm running. Well, this is a good example of when Thunder Smite is good even if you end up getting killed soon after. I'll take my 2, because the hammer doesn't just make tokens, it also gives this guy haste. So he will be a, let's see, did I take my damage? Yeah, I did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll be a 9/2, which is awfully nice. So he was at 13. There we go. So even if he has an answer for me, I can respond with a hasty 3/3 to get him to 1, unless he has both an answer and another answer in whatever form. Thunderbreak Regent, that's fine. I can just sneak under that. And I can't think of anything right now for green that saves him, because I don't think Fog is in the base set. Yep, alright, there we go. So now we're going to game 3. Alright, so I survived. This is kind of funny. I feel like I've been losing more game 1s, even with this deck that seemed like it was nearly unbeatable in game 1 before. So hopefully I'm winning more game 2s. Yep, we'll both mulligan. And I will double mull. Alright, well, as far as double mulligans go, that one's pretty much ideal. And being on the draw should help. Hey, we get another land. Okay, well, no play on the first turn. We've got a good 2 and a 3. And I do not mind if he kills my turn 2. I often am specifically trying to bait them to do something about the Eidolon. Alright, get another quality drop. We'll want something to go with it. That can always wait till a little bit later in the game. Alright, all 3 is going to go with the Courser. Okay. And he's got to land on top, but he can't play it this turn. Nykthos doesn't do anything quite yet. And I can't really swing in. So I will just take my damage from the rabble. And I will make a golem instead of a goblin. And done. Okay, so next turn, Nykthos is at least even on red mana. So I'll have 4, unless he kills something. Then I'll have 4, I just want all be red. Another Courser. Alright, so he gets to start making up for all the Eidolon damage that he's going to take. He's drawing an awful lot of land. Alright. This is where I'd like something to sneak me under that line. Alas, there's no such thing. Okay, so if I have Flame Speaker, it gives me the same amount of devotion, but uses my mana slightly better. So I think that is what it will do. Send the goblin in first. Yep. He does not buy my bluff. Get a good Flame Speaker. And pass the turn. And still more mana production up top, but this one actually costs 2 life to play. So it's even better than just a regular land. He moves that down to get another land. Alright, well, I don't like the coursers that I'm running into, but all of the land on top is making it a little bit more bearable. Right, now I just need something to break this game open. I can't attack in with the Flame Speaker because he's got 4 power on the board. Looks like he's deciding what to do with all of his nothing at the moment, unless he's got a Firebreak Regent, in which case I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, he just sits back on his mana, and Okay, Dragon Whisperer. This is good. This gets to showcase what I can do with a bunch of mana. So let's see. I've got 5, 6 mana total. This needs 6 to pop. So if I had an additional one out to play it and then break the Nykthos, I'd be doing a lot better. So I'm just going to have to take a bunch of damage and make dragons later. Okay. So we'll get 5. Play the Whisperer, take damage. Play the Flame Speaker, take damage. Go to combat, sacrifice a goblin. End the turn. So next turn, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I'll have 10 total. So I can just make 1 dragon. And he Draconic Roars me. Alright. Well, that is unfortunate. He's taking his damage as well, but it's not going to matter much. Yeah. I wanted to be able to play the Draconic Whisperer and use its ability at the same time. And I did have 8 power, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I did have 8 power to be able to trigger that. Alright. Thunderbreak Regent comes out to play. I'm going to need something off the top of my deck, because I am not winning this game as is. Even with him just drawing a bunch of mana dorks. Alright, what do we get? Dragon Whisperer again. Okay. So, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 total. So yeah, I can do that. I can make myself... Let's see. A Dragon Whisperer, tap a mountain, and make a dragon. Not a goblin. Wrong token. Alright, so if he doesn't have removal, I can just start pumping out dragons. Alright. So now we go to combat, he kills a goblin, and we finish the turn. Alright, so now as far as Nykthos goes, I've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can make 9, I've got 10 off of that final one, so I'm not quite into double dragon making territory. Although that would be a pretty cool name for this deck, Double Dragon. Gotta think about that. For everybody who hasn't seen the Dragon Whisperer yet, it takes 6 mana to make a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying, if you have power 8 or greater. Alright, so he's attacking me with his dragon. I will happily block so I don't die. Alright, so now we get back to our dragon making. And another Nykthos. So, can make 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then down to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I think I can make 17 mana if I'm counting that correctly. Let's see. Still no way to sneak these through, so I'm just making dragons at this point. I might also want to play another Eidolon down. I think that that is correct. Okay. So I've got 9. Play an Eidolon. Lose 2. Kind of a risky move. Let's see. Make myself a dragon token. Get down to 1. Play another Nykthos. That one gets destroyed. Go to 2. Activate the Nykthos. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Get all the way up to 11. And unfortunately, that is 1 short of double dragoning. So just make 1 more dragon. Not able to do much about that. Okay. Oh, what I could have done is gone over with the Dragon Whisper. What am I doing? Okay, so with that extra 5 mana, I could have given this flying and then double pumped it to hit him for 4. So if I lose by 4, you'll know that I should have actually won. It's just a little bit harder when you don't actually have the card sitting in front of you to show you what it does. But I should have known. Okay. Well, we're going to start seeing what it does next turn, because next turn, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, I'll be able to get up to 12 mana, which will just have me with the ability to double dragon. So I will not actually be sending the Dragon Whisperer over. Instead, I'll develop my board. Alright, well, he's thinking what to do. Oh, no, he's got it. He's got it figured out. What is it? Sarkhan Unbroken. Alright. So he can just start minusing it to make dragons. That means he has to minus it, and I'm making twice as many dragons as he is. So I can afford to swing every turn, and the dragons that I make will just be held back to block. Okay. This isn't such an awful place to be. Got a Rabblemaster, which is probably not actually worth playing right now. And I could also just kill the Sarkhan now. Is it worth it, or do I just go straight for him? Yeah, well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I can make 12 total. So I could attack over with the Whisperer and 1 dragon and make another dragon. Or I could just ignore the whole thing and keep pumping out dragons, which is what I'm going to do. Okay. So I'm just going to ignore it. He can minus it all he wants. I'm just going to go for his head, which I think is correct. Alright, go to the second main, make 2 more dragons, and pass the turn. So he minuses, what's he got? He's got a Knuckle Blade. Okay, that's fine. He's got a lot of mana. He will take 2 from it coming in. And I might, actually he'll take 4 from it coming in. I might just start chump blocking with Rabblemaster, because it's not actually doing anything right now. So if he takes 4 from that coming in, I'll still get him with 3 dragons. That's 12. Let's see, 16. Okay, so he'll still be alive, but just barely. Unless I were to attack over with my Dragon Whisperer. So he might just be dead. He's got 2 cards in hand. I'd like to see him play both of them. Yeah, I don't think this is going to make it 2 more turns. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that Savage Knuckleblade coming to get me. Alright, so he makes his own dragon. That's fine. Still got 2 cards in hand. Really, I'm just trying to make sure I don't die right now being at 5 life. I don't think that I want to play anything that's going to trigger my Eidolons. So he roars me. He's got to take damage for that. So he gets him down to 13. Let's see, I'm going to get him for 12 in the air. And he's just got 3 blockers. I think I Alpha Strike here. I don't know what that last card is. What do I get? I get a Bell Striker. Unfortunately, when you dash this in, it still counts as playing it. So I can't play either of these lest I die. So I'm just going to turn everybody sideways. And then, if the Flame Speakers hit something spicy. Okay, let's start sorting these things. Alright. He's got to have some other blocks, right? Pause for you while he's thinking about it. Alright, so he's taking his damage. He was at 13. He's taking... I don't know how his math works here. That's 12. Another 4. Yeah. He miscounted here somewhere. Okay, well anyway, that was the deck. I played a deck that is brand new for the format, that it doesn't even exist yet, and I managed to lose the first game in a deck that traditionally wins the first game and loses the second games. And then after that, I won both of the second games without sideboarding, so take from that what you will. It's early on in the format. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the main deck, as well as the sideboard. This has been Pastor Dustin recording for TeamNerdChurch.com, along with my trusty sidekick, Tuffy Dog. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.